Baseball fans, you're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
I have one question, and that is, who starts Game 3? I know that's on all your minds. Of course, Game 3 tomorrow night. We don't know who it will be for the Braves. We do know that it will be across the mound from Aaron Nola. Now, I watched Snitker's press conference last night. I watched his press conference this morning. Basically, where we are, when asked, have you named a starter? Snitker pretty bluntly said, nope. Just nope, we have not. And, the decision it's still being talked about. They're still, debating it. That's what they're telling us. They very well may know who they're going with and just keeping those cards close, right? Not letting the Phillies do their homework on everybody. I don't mind that. If you're asking me, I think that the common sense answer is Bryce Elder. Okay? And that might not super excite you. That might not make you all your worries go away. But that is the guy who Snit has put out there every fifth day all year long. I don't see that changing. When I asked Leo Mazzoni about it, he basically said the same thing. Elder's been the guy. He's gone deep in games before, and he's the guy with the most experience. I do think it will be Bryce Elder. If he runs into trouble and you need a guy to give you length, you have that in Aj Smith-Shawver. Now, does the idea of a rookie starting this game scare me? Yes. But if they go with Aj Smith-Shawver, Shawver has shown a lot of maturity for how young he is. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's pitched in the big leagues throughout this year, here and there. You're talking about a guy who pitched in postseason workouts the other day. What you take with that is up to you. But he is a guy who can perform. If he has the greatest game of his life, it'll be a great postseason moment. If he doesn't, okay, we move on. But it wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened. I look at, A.J. Minter starting a game in 2020. I look at Tucker Davidson starting a World Series game in 2021. In case you don't remember, the Braves did go on to win that series. So if Aj Smith-Shawver does get the start, I would not mind it. I would not hate it. I would have questions as to what went into that decision, and I would hope those questions get answered, but I wouldn't mind it. I think, again, Aj Smith-Shawver has every bit of capability to get this opportunity. Again, he's shown that he is a guy who can perform now. He is a guy that could potentially give you a better chance right now. Does that mean he'll get the opportunity? No. That is completely up to one man and one man alone, Brian Snitker. I would be very shocked if it was Aj Smith-Shawver, to be honest with you, but I would not be upset. I think it's going to be Bryce Elder. Now, where they go from there is really up to, again, Snitker. They could pitch Elder for 3 innings and bring in somebody else. They could, we've seen that with Jose Barrios. And I spoke with Leo Mazzoni about it. He hates that kind of stuff, that modern age of the way they handle pitching. He absolutely can't stand it. And
number one, we'd have never even thought about it. And number two, they would look at you like you were nuts, and I'm color coding it a lot. And there's no way that would happen. And there's no way that would happen with a Bobby Cox managed ball club. And I don't care if you're talking now, today, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. I think that's basically a good example of how analytics has set back starting pitching 30 to 40 years.
And I understand it. You want a guy who's going to come out and pitch your 6 innings and handle his job. However, I think that would be more of the case if the Braves did have a Charlie Morton on the mound tomorrow night. I think that's what you could expect more of. With Elder, I think you're going to have to kind of watch and see. It's got to be a gut feel. And I think that if he gets into trouble, if he gives up 3-4 runs and it's not looking good. Max Fried was up to 100 pitches almost in the 4th inning yesterday. So that could happen. If that does happen, I think he gets followed with Aj Smith-Shawver. And otherwise, I would have said Kyle Wright. But we all know Kyle Wright is done for the year and most likely out for next year. So I look at where we are. I look at, the way it is. I think you follow with Aj Smith-Shawver if it ends early for a couple of reasons. Number one, you need a guy to give you length for a chance to win Game 3. But beyond that, you need a guy to give you length to not overexpose your bullpen. If Elder can't do it, Smith-Shawver can. Now, I don't want to just paint the picture that Bryce Elder doesn't have a chance in this game. Because make no mistake, Bryce Elder has a very good chance in this game. Bryce Elder was, again, an all-star this year. You got to have confidence in your team, and I have a lot of confidence in Bryce Elder. I think he's a young pitcher. I think he's ran into some trouble, in the late part of the season because, frankly, he's thrown a lot of innings, right? And that's going to happen. Elder and Morton, I told you weeks ago, have thrown so many innings. They're giving these guys rest. And the question I have is, how does he respond, right? How does he come out and perform in Game 3? Now, I will tell you this. I think Elder starts, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it went a different direction, but given that Snit's the manager, given his track record of giving the guys who have been there all year, who have performed all year, I just don't see a way that Elder does not get this start. I would be very surprised. Ben Ingram said it perfectly. I would think it was interesting because I wouldn't call it the wrong decision. I would just find it interesting that now is the time you make that decision, right? So I think it would be, again, very, very interesting. So do I think the Braves have a chance in this series? You bet I do. Do I think they win Game 3? If I had to be honest with you, I think the favorites in that game would probably be the Phillies as of right now, given who's on the mound. But I would have told you the same thing, after the fourth inning yesterday, right, when they had a 4-run lead and Zach Wheeler was still on the mound with 10 strikeouts, right? So it can go either way. Postseason games are crazy. They're weird, they're different, and there's really no way around it. The benefit the Braves got is, again, their offense has woken up. They found their swings, right? They found the energy. Hopefully your pitchers have as well.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.